There is nothing that makes me more angry than people that run around with their gold crosses and their Bible thumpings and saying, praise Jesus, I'm pro-life. I can't vote for a libtard because I'm pro-life. Today, 3 people died, shot with guns by a 17 and an 18-year-old. And all you people came up with, you pro-life evangelicals, is thoughts and prayers. Hey, Paul, can you define a man and a woman? Hey, libtard, you're not taking my gun. Yee-haw, it's a God-given right. From 2020 to 2024, 234,070 people died from guns. 234,070. 22,000 were children out of that amount. But you're pro-life. There's just nothing you could do. I'm just going to pray to God. Hey, God, let's do that really quick. Hey, Jesus, thank you so much for coming down and writing the Second Amendment. Thank you, God, so much for putting in John 3:17, thou shalt own guns in America and love a gun more than 234,070 dead Americans. Thank you so much, God, for the freedom to own a gun and watch little children get murdered year after year after year and do nothing. Amen. There you go. Is that how it goes? Is that how you do thoughts and prayers? Because the thing is this. In 13 states, there's a total abortion ban. So you will go through hoops, rings of fire. You will fight, yell, kick, and scream to ban abortion, even though women are dying by an increased mortality rate of 56%. It's 2 times for white women and 3 times for black women. But you don't care because you're pro-life. You just want the babies. More babies. I'm fighting for the babies. 29 states have passed bans on transgender athletes. So let me get this right, pro-life Christians. So 234,070 people have died, including 22,000 children, since 2020 to 2024. And in 2025, it was somewhere around 38,000. And all you can muster is thoughts and prayers. Hey, libtard, I'm not giving you my gun because I'm pro-life. That's your comment every time. But you will pass dozens of bills about a transgender athlete playing in college sports. Do you even know how many transgender athletes are in college sports? 10 out of hundreds of thousands. There's no mass murder committed by transgender athletes playing in college sports because you get into culture wars, because you don't give a damn about life. And you don't. Because once the baby's born, you don't care if the mother dies from sepsis. You don't care if it gets shot in a school, a mosque. You don't care if it starves to death from lack of food. You don't care if it's homeless. You don't care if it has affordable housing. You don't care if it has a living wage. You don't care if it dies from the environment. You really don't. You don't give a damn about life once it's born. You're anti-abortion. And I'll prove it one more time. In 2024, all of you pro-life fake Christians, you're Pharisees. That's what you are. You are religious hypocrites. You went to the voting booth and said, yeah, I'm going to have to vote for, this is my guy. This is the pro-life Christian. Oh, I see he rapes women. Oh, he sexually assaulted 24 women. Oh, he was sued by a 13-year-old for raping her, and him along with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, I see he had dinner with white supremacists. Oh, it looks like 4 officers committed suicide after January 6th from the PTSD. Oh, looks like he stole from children dying of cancer. Oh, looks like he didn't rent to black people. Oh, yeah, looks like he blew up a school in Iran where 170 schoolgirls died. That's my guy because I'm pro-life. And you can't even hear that without your blood pressure. And the first thing you want to do is be upset and defend yourself. It's despicable. You truly are the most morally bankrupt people in this country. All because you obsess with the gun. And how many people do you hear with these fake Christians and their gold crosses say, it's a God-given right to own a gun? Really? What book in the Bible does God say you have the right to own a gun? It does. That's right. It doesn't. Where in the Constitution did Jesus write his name? It doesn't. But y'all are too stupid to have critical thinking. It makes you feel good. Flags and bald eagles and nationalism and freedom and Operation Fury, patriot checks. Ooh, my goosebumps got goosebumps. Oh my God, it must be Jesus. The Constitution and the Second Amendment was written by white supremacist slave owners like George Washington, like Benjamin Franklin, who owned hundreds of slaves. One of them owned over 600. Wow. But hey, it's a God-given right. Yeah. George Washington, that owned over 100 slaves, yeah, God told him to put the 3/5 clause where black people were only worth part of a white man. Yeah, praise Jesus, so pro-life. What a great pro-life country. While we kidnapped black people from Africa and 1.4 million died, and hey, while they're dead, let's just throw them into the ocean to let the bull sharks eat them. Wow, praise Jesus, we're a pro-life country. There's nothing pro-life about you people. You are despicable. You love a gun, more than 243,000 humans. You know how despicable that is? You've got some nerve complaining and bitching and moaning about abortion. And you don't give a damn if Donald Trump even rapes women. You're despicable human beings. You won't put in a waiting period. You won't ban ghost guns. You won't make people go through a background check at a show. You won't ensure that they're safely stored. You know what else the Second Amendment says? Because y'all are too stupid to think? Well regulated. But you don't want that because you only believe part of the Second Amendment, just like you only believe part of the Bible. You're the same morons that won't vote for Pete Buttigieg because marriage is between one man and one woman. At the same time, you voted for a man who's been married 3 times, has cheated on every wife, and had sex with a porn star while his third wife is at home nursing their kid. Then he commits 34 felonies to cover it up. But that's okay because, I was told at church what to think. The gay people, that's just a bridge too far. It's outside the design of God. You really are just dumb. You really are. You are religious zealots. One day, something I pray every day. I hope and pray that every single one of you, MAGA, that love your guns more than human beings, I pray to God that I'm going to sit in the bleachers with the biggest bucket of popcorn. I want like a whole swimming pool. I want to sit in the pool and have popcorn surrounding me. And every single one of you, you're going to stand before God and he's going to say, I have hundreds of thousands of people that died from gun violence. I got women that died of sepsis. Look at all these children that died from gun violence in schools, all these mass shootings. Here's the children that died in Iran. Here's all the people from Gaza, the 80,000 that died. Why didn't you do a damn thing about any of them? What are you going to say? But God, I stopped abortion, God. Oh, I got my M16s because I'm a patriot, Jesus. Woo-hoo. You know what he's going to tell you? You loved a gun more than my children. You cared more about a piece of metal and the freedom to own that than people's lives. See, you talk about freedom and you scream about freedom, and it's not the freedom that you and I talk about. It's FREEDUMB. But you don't care if children have the freedom to go to school and not be afraid to get shot. You don't care if people have the freedom to go to a mosque and not be afraid to get shot by a gun. You don't care about anybody's freedoms. You only care about yourself. I find it rich that so many of you go to church with Joe and the Ho and Joe Biden bumper stickers and talk, praise Jesus, love thy neighbor as thyself. But you only love your gun. You love your gun more than God's people, and that's disgusting and it is vile. And I'll leave you with this. I own a 6-hour P320. I don't really use it a lot. But you know what? The difference is between you and I is that A, it's safely secured. And if there was any way, hypothetically, that as a society, we all came together and says, you know what? We're going to finally take a stand against this. I would walk through broken glass barefoot for 10 miles if it would save one life and I would turn it in. That is what a person of faith does. That's what a Christian would do. That is what somebody that's pro-life. And it's funny how all of you say, oh, well, what if the tyrannical government comes? The tyrannical government's here, but you're on their side because you don't care, because you want to own the libs. And I find it rich that you have so many guns, and yet nobody's ever saved. All these guns, and all of you fake patriots with your 6 teeth, dating your sisters, going to Klan rallies, inbreeding with concepts of brains, have all these guns. And yet Uvalde happens, and Sandy Hook, and Parkland, and the mosque today, and on, and on. And all these gun shootings happen, and all of you fake patriots with all your guns that talk about the tyrannical government, you're never there to stop any of these things. Isn't that rich? Isn't that rich? And if you think that if the government wanted to come for you, you think they're going to let some little white trash hillbilly like you stop them? You can have as many guns as you want. You could only fire one at a time, dumbass. But you're too stupid because it makes you feel a certain way. It makes you feel patriotic because you've tied your nationalism to patriotism. What I'm doing is patriotism. I'm fighting for people not to die. I'm fighting for kids not to go to school hungry. I don't want kids to do active shooter drills. That's what I'm fighting for. You're only fighting for your damn self because you're selfish pricks. That is not personal liberty. It's selfishness. So yuck it up with your little guns, but just remember, you loved a gun more than God's people. And I will be there in my tub of popcorn enjoying when he sends your asses to hell. You could have your M16s all you want and yuck it up. Go ahead, yuck it up. Your day will come. It's disgusting that this country calls itself the greatest country in the world or the best of the best, while 40,000 people die every year. You do nothing. 14 million kids go to school hungry. You do nothing. 2/3 live paycheck to paycheck. You do nothing. Millions don't have health care. You do nothing. 800,000 are homeless. You do nothing. But you'll pass dozens and dozens and dozens of laws to make sure that 10 transgender athletes don't play in college sports because you're pro-life. Praise Jesus. Have a white day.